Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my Shop My Stash for April. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. In this video, I'm going to be going through what was in my Shop My Stash for March, select the new products for April, and show you what content you can expect from me in the next couple of weeks. So let me do some mini reviews of the products that were already in here, take you to my drawer, and show you all the bits that I used and what I will be reviewing very, very soon. So excuse the messy drawer, but there was quite a lot in here, and not even everything that I was using is actually in this section because there's more here that I was like testing out on the fly. And then I have some things sitting on top. So on top, I always keep my ColourPop Pretty Fresh setting spray. It's the only setting spray I use. In case you don't know, I've only started using this like about a month or so ago. So only about this much of it is gone. So that's still going strong. I am going to be putting the Decay Hydromaniac foundation back into the drawer. I didn't reach for it a lot in March. It's actually too rich and creamy for the springtime, I find. It's a bit too slip and slidey, and it ended up being a little bit messy for this time of year. So great wintertime foundation for me, but not for right now. I have been loving the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I can tell, however, that this shade is probably not going to be good for me by the time summer rolls around because it is a lighter shade. It's in shade 3. I love this thing though. It's been really long wearing. I really enjoy wearing this product. So that's why this is going to stay in my Shop My Stash, because in case you don't know, I select 1 or 2 foundations every year that I would like to use up, and this is currently on that project pan sort of situation. So this is going to stay so I can get some more use out of it. Another great product that I've been loving is the Catrice Instant Bright Serum Concealer. I've been reaching for this a lot in the second half of the month. I was using my REM Beauty concealer a lot more in the first half of the month. I wasn't feeling my best in all of March, and that always ties into how I tend to wear makeup. So at the start of the month, I was doing a lot of like one and done, quick, easy makeup looks. And for those days, the REM Beauty was excellent. This is in Light 5N, and I was using it instead of foundation. This gives me enough coverage. I just whack this on, no powder needed. It was great for a one and done, but I'm done using it right now because in April, like I've been feeling better the past week or so. So right now I'm more so veering towards liquid concealers like this. This is currently on the try to use up pile. This is a new concealer from Catrice and I have been loving it. It launched in January. There's no visible wear on this yet, so I'm very curious to see how long this will last. For primer, I was using some Essence and Catrice stuff as well. This is why the drawer is so full. So both of these were reviewed in March, the Silky Blur and the Glam in Gold. Both of them weren't the best. The Silky Blur is much better for people with oily skin. I have dry skin, so while nice, it didn't make my makeup look that great. And this is just a little bit weird because the gold flecks don't disappear all that well, I find, so this can look a little bit weird once it's on the face. So I've been reaching for my Glossier Futuredew a lot more. This is now about halfway gone. Another product I would like to use up and then possibly repurchase because I have been loving the Futuredew. It's like one of my favorite primers now. Powder wise, I was using the Kosas for the first time. This is the Cloud Set powder. I have mine in shade Airy and I've only been using it since March. Right? Look at that hard pan. Already, just a couple of weeks of use and the middle of the pan is no longer usable unless I scrape it down. I will be scraping it down after I film this video so I can keep using it, but I dislike it when products do this when it's this expensive. So at this price point, I don't think a powder should seal over this easily, because there are plenty of powders that are cheaper than this that take much longer to seal over or that don't do it at all. So I'm like, what's going on, Kosas? It is a really lovely powder if you can get it to work. It is nearly undetectable on the skin. It definitely does what it promises to do, so I can't knock it for that. But this amount of hard pan, And you can just see where I've expanded it, because once the middle became hard panned, I started going around it with my brush, and now the hard pan is over here as well. So I need to give this a good scrape down, and I just always find that such a waste of product. And this powder being nearly 40 euros is far too expensive for it to happen to that. And it does come with 9.5 grams of product, which may seem a lot, but most powders come with a standard 10 grams of product. So this is even a little bit below that. So A, not a lot of product, B, quite expensive, and C, it seals over really easily, meaning you have to scrape it off, wasting product. Not a good combo in my book, but I'm going to keep using it. The goal is to hit pan on this and then stop using it now that I've tried this. It is nice, it's a good powder, but I don't feel it is any better than the Kiko powder I know I love, which is about a third of the price of this. The surprise, well, it wasn't a surprise because a lot of people have been raving about the NYX Butter Melt brushes and bronzers, of course. But for me, these were a surprise because these swatch so intensely that I was afraid that on my fair skin, these wouldn't work. The bronzer has been my favorite. It's a really nice reddish undertone. I have mine in shade 2, All Buttad Up. It is not the lightest shade in the line because I felt this undertone was better for me. One Down was incredibly yellow. I was able to swatch these in store. So this was a shade that I felt worked best with my skin tone. I use an incredibly light hand with this. I always use a light hand with bronzer to begin with, but this bronzer shows me that it's a good thing that I use a stipple brush for applying my bronzer, and this has been lovely. I've been wearing it lots. Same thing goes for the Butter Melt blush from NYX. Very intense. This shade is aimed at deep skin tones, but with a light hand I can make it work. And I have a special brush for this, and this is my Wispy If a Blush is Too Intense blush brush. It's by Quo. It's a dupe for a NARS blush brush that is really expensive. It's really sheer and wispy, and it's great for applying intense products like this. For bronzer then, the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I ended up loving my NYX one so much that I only use this a handful of times. Like, I haven't reached for it. I still love it. I think it is a great, absolutely stunning cream bronzer formula. But I think I'm going to go back to this again closer to the summer, because that's when I prefer most of my creams to be used. I was reaching for the Nearly Rose blush from Rare Beauty on those no makeup days. The moments where I just wanted to do something really quick. This is what I ended up dabbing onto my cheeks. I just warm it up with my finger, dab it on, and I have an excellent blush color. So this is another confirmation of for how much I love this. Also, in terms of blush, I was reaching for these quite a bit, my new News blushes. My aim is to review the other two that I have in this style packaging in the glass bottle in April, so you will see those being selected this month. This is in the shade, of course I can't read it. What shade was this again? Muley Bowl, that's the shade here. This is Dim Dum, and this is Down. And these are really good. These are such great products. They're really nice, cool tone blushes. This is more of a lavender, this is a mauve tone, and Down is a gray that you can mix in to create a more cool tone shade than this is already, and it just works wonders. This does stain, so whenever I pump it out on the back of my hand, the rest of the day I have a little stain on the back of my hand. So it does have excellent staying power, especially for how hydrating these are. These are wonderful products from K-Beauty brands, and I was put onto these by Robert Welsh, and he was absolutely right. These are stunning, really cool, innovative products. The final blush in here is the M Cosmetics Magic Hour. This is the Heaven's Glow blush. I have decluttered so many peachy tone blushes because if I want a peach tone, this is it. And then I just have some highlighters left in here. I have my MAC Double Gleam, and this was the highlighter of choice this month, which I had not expected when I selected it, because I normally don't really reach for this, but this is having a moment with me. And you can see I've got a nice little dent going in there right now. Really stunning. It went with all the different blushes I have in here. Went really well with the bronzer combo as well. This really tied the look together, so I was really happy with MAC's Double Gleam. The Essence Drops of Sunshine Highlighting Drops are so incredible. This is really, really stunning and a surprise to me. I did not expect this to be as good because I didn't like the bronzing drops in the line as much. This only comes in one shade though, so if the shade isn't right for you, this may not be good, but for me it worked really well. It has a really nice cool tone sheen. And finally, I had my Dior Pink Glow in here. Really pretty as well. Again, I have a really nice, massive sort of patch there of where you can see where it's been used the most. Potentially something I would like to hit a pen on in the future. It's really beautiful, but I didn't reach for it as much. I thought that this was going to be the highlighter I would pair with some of those cool tone blushes, but I ended up using my MAC every single time. Brown mascara, the Essence and Catrice Brown Glam Doll and Lash Princess. These are great. Part of me wants to keep them in for another round, which I'm gonna do because these aren't dry enough yet for them to be discontinued to be used. But the black mascaras, oh, of course, I also didn't shut it. So that is now dry and dead. It already was. So the Catrice Glam Doll Waterproof in the black is now discontinued. And the same goes for the Maybelline. I was doing quite a lot of colorful looks in March. This is now pretty dry. It's really flaky going on. And the formula is just a bit too gloopy to be used. So this is another used up product. Then over to this side, my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, which, I mean, this takes ages to even see any sort of usage on it. I think on camera, it doesn't look like I've used it all that much. But I can see there's like a nice dip forming already. And still, because of the shade, I don't think you can see here. But this is Orb from MAC. And this, again, has a really nice dent in as well. So, doing really good with these. The NYX eyeshadow primer is still going strong. It's nice enough. I don't think I would be repurchasing it, but it gets the job done. Is gone? Well, nearly. I think there's only a little bit left. I need to squeeze pretty hard for it to come out. So I think that maybe in April or May, I could use up my C.O. Bigelow, my favorite lip balm. And for brows, we have the Essence Make Me Brow and the Soap & Glory Archery Brow Pencil. The Soap & Glory Brow Pencil is still going strong. That's not even all the way twisted up. But with this, I know that if you twist it up all the way, it won't twist back. So just to show you how much is left. And this is still not dry either, so that's fine. And then all these bits I was testing out on the down low. Because these were Essence and Catrice products that I hadn't selected for my Shop My Stash, but that I still wanted to review. So those reviews will be coming really, really soon. The two mascaras I can already update you on. I've now used both. They are both called mascara primers. That's why they are in the white packaging. The Lash Princess is one of those standard fiber-rich sort of formulas. I think you can see it there on the doe foot. I don't like this. If you have really sensitive eyes, those little flaky fibers are going to irritate your eyes, and that's what happened to me when I was wearing it. March, April, May are the 3 months where my hay fever is the worst, and any sort of irritation around my eye area will then set off my allergies, and I get really itchy eyes to begin with. So this product just isn't for me. If you're a contact lens wearer, I would also not recommend using this because the flaky things, you can sort of like feel it sitting there. And it kind of like gets into your eye, so maybe if you have sensitive eyes yourself, you may want to stay away from that. If you do like products like this, then this is a good one. It gets the job done. It volumizes your lashes. It makes them look fuller. It makes them look lengthened. But here's why I don't test out mascara for the channel. My lashes are really, really nice lashes naturally. So I don't have to work too hard to get them to look nice. And this is a product that's just wasted on me. And similarly, the tinted primer from the Glam Doll line. This is in a soft black shade, which actually just looks like a charcoal gray. And this doesn't really add much of anything. I already use the waterproof Glam Doll over a waterproof, or I already used the BOOKTUBE, so this one, to top over volumizing mascaras to begin with. I tried combining the two to see, because this by itself doesn't do enough for me. So I figured that maybe if I were to put this one on first and then this one, it would look better. It doesn't. Like, the effect I get is the same of putting my blue tube over something like the Maybelline. So I like going in with a volumizing mascara first, and then adding this as a waterproof top coat. And I use it on the lower lash line. And it's not as smudgy as a regular mascara would be. And I really enjoy the wand. Let me show you, in case you don't know what this looks like. I really enjoy the wand of this for the lower lash line. The bristles are short, so it doesn't get too messy. So yeah, the two primary bits weren't my favorite. The eyeshadow I tested out was lovely. I did a look with it the other day. You will be seeing this look in some of the videos I filmed that will be going up this week. So if you want to see the look already, you can. And this is going to be one of the reviews I will be posting in the next couple of days. So the Space Glam Chrome eyeshadow and the Space Glam Liquid Effect eyeliner in this really beautiful silver shade. Not only do these pair really well, but they are really beautiful shades as well. The eyeshadow is a bit sheer. It needed a finger for it to go on intense, but this eyeliner, it's like liquid silver on your lids. It's absolutely beautiful. It dries down and it doesn't budge all day. I wore this all day and it looked fine. And these, in case you're unfamiliar with these little sticks that Essence do, they are good. They are good products, but the actual packaging is really flimsy. It just feels like it's going to fall apart. And I tried the matte version of the bronzer before, and I like the matte version better than I do the shimmer version. So I think I actually decluttered it because I don't need another bronzing stick in my life. But yeah, this is okay. Like, if you want a shimmer in your bronzer, the shade is okay. I feel it's a bit more orange than the matte. So the shade for me isn't perfect. And then the two highlighters they did, the Glaze and Diamond. This is pretty close. The Glaze one is close to something like Glossier's Halo Scope. So they're highlighting sticks. This is absolutely stunning on, but I don't love the texture of this. It feels a little bit slippy. And the same goes for this one. It looks like the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm on my cheeks, but I already have that product. So I don't need another one. So these are nice. They're okay. For how expensive they are, you can't fault them, but I want a little bit more out of my products. And then I have the Dark Cocoa. I did a look with it again today, and I thought I could select this for my Palettes Revisited video for April, because I did use this in my first impression review in January when these products first launched. But before I make up my mind about these products, I want to use them like multiple times to see how it went. And I wore the look to work, and it's nice, it's pretty, but I don't feel this color story is that unique in my makeup collection, which is why I ended up decluttering it. If you saw my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter that went up on Sunday. So yeah, this is beautiful. It's really nice. If you're looking for an affordable eyeshadow palette from the drugstore, I think it's good. It will show up in some videos in this month, but then I'm gonna stop playing with it, even though I probably need to keep it around for a ranking or something along those lines. Those were all the products in the drawer. I did use some lipsticks, and if you're thinking, Micah, that's not a lot of lipsticks, and that's because I had not one, not two, but 3 cold sores in 2 weeks' time in March. So I could barely wear any sort of lip products all month. That's why some of the lip product videos that you ended up seeing in March came a little bit later, because I don't swatch or use lip products other than one dedicated lip balm I have in my home. That's my cold sore lip balm. I don't want to contaminate products, which could happen if I do use them. So I couldn't use any of my products because I was just battling with some, I don't know what was going on. I wasn't feeling the best, like, overall. I wasn't ill, but it was clear to me that my system was like trying to fight something off. And yeah, it came out as a cold sore. So that's why I have gotten more use out of my Tower 28. I was wearing the pistachio shade today. This is about halfway gone. It hasn't been sitting upright for long enough today to be able to show you that, but this is about down till here. And Sesame is now still about like 1/4 of the way down, My goal is to use these up this year. So these are staying in this little cubby, so they're easy to reach for. The Super Peptide Lip Balm I was actually using as a bit of a lip balm the other day when I didn't want to wear much makeup, and I just popped on a little bit of lip balm. And then because I wanted to test out some more of my new MAC lip products, I think I want to do a swatcheroo with some of my MAC lip products for you in April. So that's a video that you can expect me to do later in the month. I wore Cool Teddy, which I think it's more like the shade on the tip than it is on the side. Do you see how the shade on the tip is not the same as the shade on the side? I always find that a bit sus, but pretty shade nonetheless. And I wore it with Cool Spice, Cool Spice lip liner. So there's what that one looks like. It's really, really nice. It is, like, if you're looking for a true cool tone, they're not super cool toned, as you will see. They are quite peachy, but they are definitely neutrals on me. Let's move into the drawer and select some new products to try out in April. Welcome to the reorganized makeup drawer again. I just feel so much happier now that this is so much lighter and no longer such a big messy drawer where I can't find a thing. I love how much overview I have. And that, for instance, these cubbies now just like fit into the middle. You'll see my makeup collection reorganization in a couple of weeks' time. Now that everything is decluttered, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun there to play with things. This is going out of order, but I do want to use these two News blushes. I already said that. This is Crema Mauve and Fake Fog. So now I'm going to be testing out a really pretty cool toned mauve shade, and Fake Fog is like a neutral, because those I still need to test out. I also want to do a full face with Fenty Beauty, but before I film that video, I actually want to test out the Soft Lit Foundation. This is in 125, and I haven't tried it yet. So need to review that for you. So we have an extra foundation, but I'm not going to be selecting an extra concealer. I'm looking at everything I have here, and I'm like, you know what? I like my Catrice thing, so I'm just going to use it and really use it as the only concealer in my collection so that I can use it up at some point. That's the aim there. For bronzer, do I want an extra bronzer? I do, because I'm going to put the NYX one back in here, as will the Makeup by Mario will go back. I think I want to go in with Swept from Glossier for like a liquid cream sort of moment. And then I want a powder. And for the spring, I have always loved my Solar Powder bronzer from Soap & Glory. So, want to use that. We're good with powder. For highlighters, I actually have a new highlighter actually coming my way. It's going to be in the Fenty Beauty products video, because I did order finally a Demi Glow highlighter from Fenty. But that's still making its way to me, so I still need to take pictures and all that, and I still need to show it to you in a haul. So I think I don't want to select any new highlighters right now. Well, this is always a good one in April. The Kiko Milano Glow Fusion highlighter. As you can see, I've hit 10 on it last year. That's always a good one. Now we're going to give it another Kiko moment, and we're going to go with this liquid from the Stella Love collection. I think this is pretty for spring. It's like a soft peach tone, but not as peach as something like this, for instance. So I already have two blushes I still need to test out in there, but the Jones Road in Tawny, I said I want to get more use out of. So I think if there is going to be a time of year where I'm going to love a product like this, it's going to be right now. So I'm going to be selecting that. I already have the two liquids, so I want a powder. I always like having something super quick and easy in my life, and Baroque, I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, is really, really pretty. This is more like the nude version of that peach tone that was in my Shop My Stash in April. So some new bits to review. 1, 2, 3. Like 3 truly new things to review, which may not seem like a lot, but I actually have so many things still on the back burner that I still need to post up on the blog, which I can then give a little bit of space to over on the blog. So this is a lot more curated than it was before. I just remembered that I said, of course, that I was going to use some of those new Essence and Catrice bits still for reviews in like the next couple of days. So this first week is going to be dedicated to reviewing those Essence and Catrice products. So that's why it's good that I don't have too many new things in here that I still need to test out. The only thing I still need to share with you is eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be using. So I also wanted to let you know here that in April, I'm going to be doing eyeshadow palette week on the channel. So there's going to be a week in April where every single day of the week, I'm going to be posting an eyeshadow palette related video. So I'd like to stay tuned for that because I love chatting about eyeshadow palettes. We all know that. This guy already showed it to you that it was in here because I want to do an Essence and Catrice review update for you in April as well. And I thought that I could select this one to go back to as well. So this is going to pop up in 2 more videos. And then I was editing my my eyeshadow palette declutter, and I said that I had to use my Millennial Pinks again. And I was like, you know what? That's a spring color story if I've ever seen one. So I thought I could use this one this month. The Pretty Please was another one when I was editing that video where I went like, yes, I need to use you again. It's a really pretty sort of like rosy, florally kind of color story, and I think it's going to be beautiful. And I think it's going to be beautiful for this time around. And of course, where would we be in the spring season without Nabla Soul Blooming? Of course, I say it in every video. This is such a perfect spring palette. If it needs a time to shine, it's gonna be right now. The periwinkles, the warm tones, the peaches, the interesting duochromes this has. I'm saying yes. And finally, another spring palette, which you've heard me mention so many times, Juvia's Place The Deuce. This is another great one. There's a reason why I kept it when I decluttered my Juvia's Place palettes. I got rid of so many of these over the years, but this is one that gets to stay because it's so unique, and I love wearing this in spring. Those pinky tones, the peach, the pop of green. This gray is really pretty. Like, you can do a very neutrally look if you want, with a bit of liner and a pop of green on the lower lash line. This magenta shade has my heart. So many good shades, so much potential for different looks you can do with this. So this is one I definitely want to use again. But there's also going to be some new eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be testing out, of course. I don't think I've shown you these in a haul yet. The haul is coming on Saturday, I think. Yes, on Saturday you'll see a haul, and some of these things are brand new to me. So you see them again then, because I'm a bit behind when it, like, sometimes the way things pan out, it just happens. The Urban Neutrals for Artitude Cosmetics. This is a new to me brand. I bought this through MONOLITH, and I did pay for this with my own money. It's quite matte heavy. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers. Everything else has mattes. Not sure how I feel about this, but of course, this sort of neutral palette with a twist, that's why I want to use this. So can't wait to see what this will do on my eyes. I already tried the Bitten for you in March, but the Frozen Kiss from Gourmand Girls was low-key still on the wish list. So when it came back into stock on MONOLITH, of course I always try to get free shipping, and this would be a great second palette to hit the €100 mark. I am affiliated with MONOLITH, so sometimes I do have palettes from them that I test out that were gifted to me, but these two I did pay for with my own money, just to be fully transparent. If you want to get 5% off of your MONOLITH order, you can by using the link that's in the description box down below, or using the code that will pop up on the screen right now. So the Frozen Kiss from Gourmand Girls is a lovely, lovely palette. The color story is just amazing. And something tells me I'm going to like this better. But why this is called the Frozen Kiss? Like, isn't this a spring palette to you? Like, for me, this is such a spring vibe. It's very close to some of the other things that I've selected in my palettes revisited pile. So I think I'm going to like it. I like the purpley things we get in here. We get this minty section. We have some grungy, deeper shades over here. There's a bit of warmth. I think I might like this. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to like this better than I did the Bitten palette. Esther, we met up in Haarlem where she lives, and she's a loyal subscriber who's been with this channel for years. We've also exchanged makeup by mail a few times, but this time we decided to meet up, and she got a double of the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm, and she knew this was still on my wish list, so she gifted hers to me, which was really, really sweet. So we're going to be testing it out. Is this much more warm-toned in real life than it looks online? Yes. Is it beautiful, though? Yes. This bottom row I feel is a little bit more neutral leaning. It's especially like these 8 shades that make it very spicy and warm toned. But we all knew in 2024 I was on a warm tone kick. So when this was launched, I was sort of on the fence, like, am I gonna like it? Am I not? I wanted to see this in real life so I could swatch it and then bite the bullet on it. Couldn't find it anywhere. I went to several Sephoras towards the end of 2024 and it just wasn't there. Or the Sephora I went to didn't sell the brand, or the Sephora did sell the brand, but the palette just wasn't there yet. So that was such a bit of a bummer, but then now I get to try it anyways because Esther gave it to me. And I do know I enjoy this formula a lot, so I think I'm gonna love it. Not so sure about this color story for me. And finally, I got myself some new Glam Shop bits. This is the Cool Glam. And you know me, if I test, like if it says cool toned, I have to test it out. So this looked interesting. I've never tried one of their quads before. The shimmers especially in here. And then the Creme de la Creme. Because, you know me, if Glam Shop comes out with a neutral palette, I have to try it. Doesn't this look like a beautiful, beautiful, rosy, neutrally cool tone leaning color story that is perfect for fair skin? Yeah, that was my question too. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to test it out. And if I love it, I think it has Pretty Please vibes for sure. Like, I feel they could fit into a similar vein, but this is, we all know I love Glam Shop. They're a Polish indie brand and they do some lovely things. And for me being in the Netherlands, it's not too expensive to get it, you could say. So that's why I really wanted to test it out and really get some more use out of the brand and see what they have on offer this time. Because I don't think, did I buy any Glam Shop in 2024? I think I didn't buy anything by them. Like, nothing stood out to me that they did then. So I think it's been a year since I placed an order with them. So it was high time to test out if they're still as consistent and lovely as some of the older things I have. So those were all of the products I have selected for April. There's lots of good content coming for you in April. Eyeshadow palette week, full face of Fenty, swatching out all of my matte lipsticks. We have all the regular things I do anyways. We're going to be reorganizing my makeup collection. I'm going to be posting about my makeup memory box. We're going to be doing the update for Essence and Catrice. There's so much going on in April, so I hope you like to stay tuned for all of that goodness. And I hope that this video was helpful, that it gives you an idea of what content may be coming, and some of my quick thoughts on some of the things I was using in March. So thanks so much for sticking by, watching the video, subscribing if you aren't already, and then I hope to see you again really, really soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.